Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Army and I am your friendly neighborhood Filipino eschatologist. Eschatologist just means that I am obsessed with end times. This is the place in time where we need to seek most of the information that's going to happen in the future, because in the wake of all the things that's happening today with the Epstein files going on, and the things that is being revealed to us these days, it just points us to the direction of what's about to happen, because we know for a fact all the people that have discernment within God's realm, within God's people, is that we have to focus on not just what's going on, because that we don't have any control over, but also for the fact that what's going to happen is what's important. What's going to happen to us in the future. We can't just, there's a lot of people right now that are just opening their eyes like they never thought that all these things are going on in this world. And it takes us directly to the Book of Enoch, because the Book of Enoch has been for years and centuries been hidden from us, hidden from the public. Even the Bible itself, the very Bible that has been compiled by human beings, there's the Dead Sea Scrolls. That's the whole complete Bible. I don't even want to say Bibles, it's just the Dead Sea Scroll, the Word of God. And the ones that have been hidden are the books that explain and describes in detail all the evil that's going on right now, all the evil, the demons, Satan, all the evil spirits that is roaming around the earth today in this life. And we have no control over it. We're just humans. Human beings have been given the Spirit of God, have been breathed in the Spirit of God. But however, because of what Adam and Eve did, which is like atrocious, now we are part of the judgment. Okay, because if none of that ever happened, we'd be living in a perfect world, and we'd be living in the presence of God. The sinful nature of our humanity, we are now subject to the judgment at the end of time, and there's an ending to this, and that's our hope. Our hope is not to fix things, because we don't have the capacity or the power to do that. The hope is that Jesus Christ will come again and will save us from all of this atrociousness and anything that we have that has been disclosed to us and exposed to us by these Jeffrey Epstein's file. And the reason why it's been being held back is because we as human beings are not ready to what these files see, because we're not ready to see the real evil that happens behind closed doors, because we've been distracted by everything that's going on right now with sports and reality shows and all these things that we watch on TV, the movies, and all of those things are all a distraction, and all of the things that have been pitting us against each other, left, right, blue, green, black, white, all those things. It's a distraction, because they don't want us to see the real truth, because the truth will bring all of us together. It will make us band together. Just exactly what's happening these days, where you go to TikTok, you go to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and you see all of the people that have witnessed and read about all these things that happened in the Epstein days. And now they're opening their eyes to the reality of the battle between good and evil. So enter the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch has been hidden from us for decades and for centuries, because it reveals everything that from the beginning, how evil started and how it began, why it's still ever present in our day today. So this is why I want to talk about the Book of Enoch and also the Book of Jubilees. I've never even thought about reading the book of Jubilees before, but actually the book of Jubilees tells you the lineage of, every single part of the world, like the lineage of from Adam to Jesus, the lineage from, the fallen angels to all the evil spirits that roaming around the earth today. So in the book of Enoch, it has 5 different parts, and the first part is about the watchers. Enoch bore witness against the watchers. God already knew what he was going to do and all his plans and what the end is going to look like, because Enoch saw everything from the beginning to the end. So he knew what these watchers' future is going to be. They're already defeated. But in those days, the watchers were the fallen angels that came down from heaven, 200 to be exact. There are 20 leaders that led 10 fallen angels each, about the watchers and how they came down from heaven. They were supposed to be assigned by God to watch over the humans, and just help them along. It's just like Archangel Michael and Raphael and Uriel, and how they are guiding us and protecting us. We don't see them, but they are in the spirit protecting us from evil. Okay, especially those who are God's children, the ones that believe in God. That's the assignment for those watchers. But they instead corrupted the whole entire humankind and brought about judgment, because had it not been for them, we wouldn't have the judgment in the end, the book of Revelation. The second part of the book of Enoch was the book of parables. It's the prophetic vision of the Son of Man, Jesus Christ, and how he's going to come back, and how God sent him down here to save all of us, and the final judgment, because Jesus is the one that's going to be judging in the end. The third, astronomical book. It's a cosmic calendar governed by divine order, solar, lunar, and other heavenly signs. How the solar system functions, how the calendar functions, and how we know what season it is, the path that the sun and the moon follow in the cosmic world, and the dream visions, because Enoch also had dreams, and which tells us about the symbolic retelling of history and the visions of the future, so beginning to end. And finally, the epistle of Enoch, which is the final warnings to sinners and kings, which is presidents, prime ministers. So you want to ask yourself, why does it matter? Because we know that in the book of Revelation, we know what's going to happen. It tells the book of Revelation, which is also, by the way, visions that have been shown to John, to Apostle John. And then you have Isaiah. Isaiah had visions too. And then the book of Daniel had visions too. And so all throughout the generation, all throughout history, there are people who have seen what would happen in the end days, so that you just don't say, oh, well, maybe it's, somebody just wrote a book or whatever for no reason whatsoever and just to scare us or whatever. But no, it has been written, and the vision has been shown to several different people, probably a lot more after the book of Revelation. The book of Enoch also tells how the origin of the corruption, the origin of evil, how it began, not just on earth, but also in heaven. It started in heaven, and then it poured onto earth. However, it also points to hope, because the Son of Man, Jesus Christ, will come again, and in his glory will take up all the righteous people. Righteous meaning the people who believed in him, who surrendered their lives to him, to serve him, to spread the word, to open people's eyes, who are very faithful and who doesn't flounder with their faith, don't backslide. But we're only humans. Again, we're only humans. It's harder to stay on course. It's harder to serve your God and to offer your whole life and win more souls for Jesus. It also reveals orders. The stars, the heavenly bodies are not just there for decoration. Like the lunar, the solar, the stars, everything has a purpose. And all of that, all of us, all of God's creation all fit together in one design. And also the Book of Enoch speaks to seekers, which is me. I seek. I want to know everything. I want to understand everything. I have questions upon questions upon questions. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And the more I seek, the more I understand, and the more I learn about God's character and why he did what he did. How it all fits together. Like I have questions like the watchers, they were heavenly bodies. They were created by God. Just boom, you're an angel. It's not like boom, you're an angel and you're having kids and then you're getting pregnant. No, that's for the humans. So therefore the humans and the angels cannot naturally get involved with each other. It's not natural for them to procreate because these creatures, the angels, are different from us. God breathed in his spirit into us, into human beings. So we're special. Just like the Bible says, when we get to heaven, we hold a higher standard than the angels because God has the spirit inside of each of us. And it's just an atrocity that when you turn your back on God and Jesus, you start becoming tempted to the wiles of the devil. The devil will easily get you to his side than you going back to God. Because we're sinners and we already have the original sin, the devil will deceive us, and it's easy to deceive us because it was easy for him to deceive Eve, and Eve was the very first woman created by God. And so if it's easy for Eve to fall into that, the deceit, it would be easier for us because we haven't seen God. We didn't talk directly. God didn't talk directly to, like, physically talk directly to us and say, hey, don't do this. Do not eat of the fruit of this tree of knowledge. And if it's easy for the devil to tempt Eve, it would be way easier for the devil to tempt any of us who don't believe, especially don't believe in God. I mean, I'm pretty sure Eve totally believed in God in those days. I mean, he created her and they were speaking directly to each other. So in the righteousness of Enoch, he doesn't just see the end, the future, but also the justice behind it. God opened his eyes not to just see, but also to understand. And he didn't see it for his own generation, but for for our generation, the end, our generation. And it's so far off. It's about the tribulation. He sees it all in chapter 1. It's about the remnants who will survive and the wicked who's going to be removed from the earth, the new earth. And when God comes back, he doesn't come back alone, but with 10,000 holy ones.